Well, powerful winds over the past few days have meant big swells, and we see the Westpac rescue boat making its way along the back of Kurrawa Beach here in Surfers Paradise in Queensland. Well, the surfboat races are always some of the most spectacular events of the Australian surf titles, and today is no different. We're going to see the under-19 boat race. Calling the action for you is two-time silver medalist in the Open men's boat race and former Wallabies coach Rod McQueen, who joins John Harker.
G'day, Rod, and thank you, Joe. There's the start list. Tugan, interesting club. We'll talk more about them in a moment. Alexandra Headlands, Bill Gola, Donnie McManus, the veteran sweep, Swansea Belmont, Mollymook in the New South Wales coast, and Currumbin Beach from up here at Queensland. That Tugan club have really fought back in terms of boat rowing, haven't they?
They've done tremendously well. They won their first gold ever apparently yesterday in the reserves, and they've got two crews in the Open final as well alongside of this crew now in the juniors, so they've done exceptionally well. I believe they've actually brought a bar down into their tent for this particular event, and they've got everyone around it having a few drinks, and they're celebrating already.
There's the New South Wales champions. Trevor Dyson's their sweep from Swansea Belmont. You have to suggest too that perhaps the team next to them may still be the one to beat, though. Don McManus and his Bill Gola crew. He's been a great sweep for a long while. Yeah,
you can never underestimate Don. He always seems to just keep coming up in those big ones. Interesting enough, Swansea won this New South Wales State and Bill Gola second, and here they are all the way through in this, I'd have to say, pretty lucky surf in some areas. So they've done very well to get through, and they're certainly going to be crews to watch, particularly from that middle area.
It looks to be one of the things that's holding us up is not just the surf. There looked to be a Malibu board that has been lost in a race further down the beach. They've been picked up now. There it is. Was just drifting in front of the Currumbin Beach crew. A lot of people sometimes ask us why they do have their costumes well up their backside, for want of a better term, but it's, of course, you haven't got moving seats as you would do in stillwater rowing, because it'd be far too dangerous to be up in the air 1 minute and then trying to land on a moving seat.
Yeah, in fact, we do use those rolling seats in stillwater races, marathons, etc.
Yeah.
But obviously in the surf you can't do that, so you rely on having a very slippery seat, a long seat, and you rely on the friction with the water between bare skin and the seat. And I've got to say, it gets very sore very early in the season when your backside isn't as hard as it should be.
Only a pausing because I don't know what I can add to that, really, Rod. These fellas, of course, they're waiting the starter to give them some sort of even start, but on occasion the starter may call go and a sweep will actually hold his crew up, so don't jump in yet. The crews don't jump just on the gun. Well, they jump on the sweep's order, don't they?
They do, but they don't have to. I mean, some sweeps might just say get in on the gun, but in a day like this I'd say most of them would be waiting for the sweep's orders, not just the gun. It's going to be very important who gets through this break, and we've seen that the crews that sometimes can be lucky on either end can get out, whereas the crews in the middle sometimes get stuck, and that's reversed from time to time. But it's going to be won and lost in the break, I'd say, this particular race.
Okay, well, we'll watch them go through that break before we get down to Pete on the beach. Again, from the bottom of your screen looking up, it's Currumbin, followed by Mollymook, Swansea Belmont, Bill Gola, Alexandra Headlands, and then Tugan. And at this stage, the Swansea Belmont crew have got about a half a boat length, but that is on our angle, and they're also just going through two nice waves which will fill up their boat.
They've had a great start, and you know, unfortunately they got hit early, and this is we're not going to really see anyone emerging. It's going to be hard. You can be in front, but then you can finish last if you get a wave over the top of you.
Yeah, they do carry, for those of you that weren't watching yesterday when we mentioned it, they do carry in their boats, and up they go, but they do carry a couple of very large batteries, the biggest batteries you can, marine batteries you can buy, and they're attached to two bilge pumps, and with this water coming in, the sweeps will hit the switch for the bilge pumps.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they can get the water out in a minute, so going out isn't too bad. If you get some water, you can get it out very quickly, but it does slow the boat down, and if you're trying to get a bit of momentum up to get over a wave, it sometimes becomes very hard. Anyway, we've got some winners coming out here, some clear leaders coming out here. It looks like Currumbin might have stuck out on the end.
Yeah, they have. Currumbin are leading. Way up the other end, Tugan. There's Currumbin, our leaders at the moment. And they've probably got, just looking from our vantage point, about a 2 or maybe even 3 boat length lead to Tugan, Alexandra Headlands, and then Swansea Belmont and the Bill Gola crew. Probably early race favourites. The Don McManus crew are in a bit of strife at this stage. Now, that set of cans that you're seeing are the set that they do have to go through on the way back in.
Yeah, that's going to be very important that they do that. So you're going to be running swells, but while you're doing that, you're always going to have to make sure that you don't go too far down. You've got to stay on one side of those cans, and a few boats already in this meet have been disqualified for not looking after that rule.
Now, the crew on screen are our leaders, Currumbin. The stroke is the person closest to the bowman. The next seat is the second stroke, then second bow and bowman. Well, sorry, closest to the sweep, obviously, is the stroke. And they're the ones that that they take the lead off. But of course, it is the sweep that sets the rating, and right now he'd be yelling, 10 strokes to the cans. He'd be giving them a bit of a warning about how far they've got to go before they'll then check the boat and try and spin it round. A really good crew can do this in about 3 strokes. Let's see them. You'll see the fellows on this side dig their oars in, and on the bow side, I'll bring them round. That's
a very good buoy turn, and that's the Currumbin Maggots that have done that. Mo's their sweep, and he's been around for quite a while. He's a very good sweep, and he's going to have his work cut out coming out from that alley. It's going to be interesting to see how they go with Chugan on the other end. Yeah, and surf's being what it is, if you've got a good run out, quite often it'll be because you might be going through a hole where the waves aren't breaking as strongly, which means that the waves will form on the way back, and you'll get more of a run coming back in. And we can already see that the Swansea Belmont crew is starting to get much closer. Now, that is still Currumbin on screen at the moment. The first crew that you can see past them is the Swansea Belmont crew, and they're just trying to pull down that little runner at the moment. Up from them is Alexandra Headlands and then Chugan. That's the order that you can see them, and at this stage Bill Gola are well and truly out of it. You watch this Belmont crew right up. They really are very good at running home. That's been their forte all year. But having said that, it's going to be very interesting coming in this boat area. We could have 4 boats on one wave, and that's going to be very interesting for us. Okay, there they are, Currumbin. Up there is Swansea Belmont, the second mark I've just made, and they're waiting for a wave right now. That there that I've just marked is Alexandra Headlands, and above them is Chugan. Right now, the 2 crews, they waited for a wave, and now they're going to rake down. They may have waited too long, Currumbin. Yeah, he's waited too long, the Currumbin sweep. He's made a mistake all right. Now can Swansea Belmont hold this wave? They're on it. It won't be difficult. It won't be easy, I tell you. It'll be very difficult for him to hold it. The sweep's working overtime. They're still rowing. They're trying to stay in front of this wave. They're beginning to slew. They're in a bit of trouble now. Can he pull it back? No, he can't. They're gone. It's all over for them. On the other side. Chugan are on the other side, so Chugan could come through. They were sitting in third, but they're in a lot of trouble now. Coming through the middle, we'll try and pick up that boat that's coming through the middle. Alexandra Headlands are there. Chugan as well. Alex, they're falling off the back of that little broken wave. Too far away for us to see from here on that angle. Oh, they've taken it out. Terrific performance from Alexandra Headlands. They were in third position, but how unlucky was Swansea Belmont. The sweep couldn't quite hold it, and the Currumbin sweep, well, he just waited too long and they missed the wave. They may well come through for second position in all of this, and who knows, that could be Bill Gola. I can't pick him up from here, but that could well be Bill Gola fighting out second and third, but the shot's just a little wide from that chopper for us to pick them up. But certainly Alexandra Headlands are the winners, and that looks to me to be Currumbin coming through for second. Well, that was... and Bill Gola have picked up a medal. Out of all of that, they were out of it, Rod. They were fair dinkum stone motherless at the cans, and they've picked up a medal. Well, let's go down to the beach.
Well, it's chaotic scenes here. The guys are just celebrating. I'm not sure if I can get too close. Can I get the crew with me? Guys, congratulations, a magnificent event. What's it like to win a boat title round of Australia?
Absolutely sensational, mate. Time of my life. Can't explain it.
Steve Davis, the sweep, what did he say to you boys as you were coming in?
He said, give it to me. We just had to get those runners, and we just gave it everything we got.
Well, congratulations. You certainly responded. A well-deserved gold medal. Australian champions.
Thanks, mate. Oh, yes. Thanks.
As we have a look at the crew that lost it.
Yeah, that was Belmont. I've got to say, I felt very sorry for Trevor Dyson there, because he did the right thing. He actually kept his rowers in their seats. He had to do that. If they had have come aft at that particular time, they wouldn't have got across the line. We saw that Alexander Headlands stayed in their seats too, but they made it all the way. And at the top of the screen on that replay too, Chugan lost it at the same time. So both Chugan and Swansea Belmont lost it. Alexandra Headlands take it out. Currumbin, as we suggested, were second, and from Stone Motherless last, Donnie McManus, a bit of experience there, taking out the bronze medal.